Hello, busted babies. Welcome beyond the veil. It's Dina. I'm in a little bit of a different setting. I'm at a friend's house in her bedroom. Um, I am on the farm, but they are doing things outside. And I was just sitting in the house by myself, and I just thought, well, let me come do a reading for my subscribers. So welcome all of you. I am Adina for those of you who don't know, and for all of my new subscribers, I welcome and I appreciate all 290 of you. I have noticed my new subscribers, so hey y'all. I'm gonna go back through and see if I can find the notifications with all the names of my new subscribers so I can call y'all out. And the people who comment and interact and things like that. I'll go back through the comments and shout y'all out too. So I didn't want to do any old frivolous reading today. It's Monday, and I was just, y'all, I'm sorry, I'm sitting on the bed, and I got on a skirt, so I'm trying not to give y'all, I'm trying not to give y'all that kind of show today. Because even though we're here for entertainment purposes, we ain't here for that kind of entertainment, honey. That ain't on the docket. But it's Monday, so I kind of wanted to dedicate any readings that I do on Mondays to the spirits, those who are have stepped beyond the veil. And today I'm about to read Biggie Smalls. Because why not? Because why not? So with that being said, I'm going to just jump into it while I have my mind right. I may have to pause this and reposition myself because I'm not very comfortable like this. And I'm trying not to move too much because I don't want to knock over the phone and I don't want to show my friend's laundry. Hold on, you guys. All right, y'all. So where there was a will, there was a way. Yes, I am a 36-year-old girl who still sits Indian style, and I found a way to do it while covering up my chocha. So we're going to, excuse me, we're going to read Biggie Smalls. I'm just going to try to draw him up. I don't have my bell on me today, but I'm going to just try to draw him up and see what he has to say. So with that being said, I want to remix my cards since I had to get out of my zone. All right. Christopher Wallace. I believe that's your real name. Notorious B.I.G. Biggie Smalls. Notorious B.I.G. Christopher Wallace. Mr. Jamaica Queens. Excuse me. I haven't coughed all day. Period. Yesterday, the day before that, none of that. I'm not sure why I'm coughing now, but Biggie Smalls. You know what? I get the image. Now, I don't think Biggie Smalls smokes cigarettes. This isn't Biggie. That isn't Biggie. May I speak to the spirit, the soul of Biggie Smalls. I see a man in a chair, or the figure of a man, because I can't make out any of the features of his face because he looks like smoke, black smoke, and he's smoking a cigarette, and he has on a black suit, and he's sitting in a chair with his leg crossed. Why are you here? And may I speak to the soul of Biggie Smalls? Biggie Smalls. Who are you? I don't like these games. I don't know what this is or what that spirit was. It said it was a trickster spirit. Now, why it showed up when I called Biggie, I don't know. Biggie Smalls. Christopher. Is Biggie's mother alive still, and is she sick? There seems to be a concern about his mother and her health, if she is alive. Biggie Smalls, obviously if I'm here, I would like for you to speak, but most people want to know about the circumstances surrounding your death. I would invite you to say whatever it is you have to say. But I'm also curious because your killer has never been arrested. Would you like to speak about that? He said you can flip the cards. Well, he did die in a car. He did pass away in a car. Me thinks that he wasn't supposed to be in the vehicle that he was in. I hear at the last minute we switched, or I switched, because I hear switch cars in my mind. I just get the strong impression that for some reason at the last minute he was advised to ride in the car that he was in when he got shot, but he wasn't supposed to be in that car. He said, I wanted to go home, but they wanted to go somewhere else, to the studio, another club, I don't know. The challenge is the magician. Someone had all of the events of that night orchestrated. Whoever told Biggie that night to ride in a different vehicle, they're one of the ones who were in on the plan, because this was all a part of someone's plan. This was a setup, because this is a magician, and he has all the tools, all the elements on the table that he needs to manifest. Everything is there that he needs to manifest his plans, his goals. Beef. Now, I don't know if this is the East Coast, West Coast beef. I do know that this was the East Coast, West Coast beef. After Tupac got shot, I hear after Tupac got shot and went away, Biggie also wanted to go away. I won't say go away, but I get the impression that he wanted out. He wanted out of Bad Boy. He wanted out of, was it Junior Mafia? I don't know if he was a part of Junior Mafia himself, or if that was the other clique that was around him. But he wanted out of his dealings with Bad Boy because of, I hear the orchestrated beef. The orchestrated beef that he wanted no parts of, especially after what happened with Tupac. He wanted out, and he wanted to do his own thing, and he wanted to do it with a new team, a new crew. a new set of people other than the people that were around him. Now, this is an interesting card for his future because I should see something that involves his death, his actual physical death. And maybe this is somebody that he knew. I feel like someone that he knew is the one who actually pulled the trigger, someone who he considered an old friend, but maybe someone who he hadn't seen in a while, or maybe someone who he was trying to let go of, an old friend that he was trying to put behind him, possibly. But I don't know. I don't know, because this also makes me feel like his spirit immediately upon leaving his body went to his mother. I don't know if his mother knew instantly, or if she ever said that she knew instantly. Maybe she was asleep and woke up, or if she had a bad feeling. But I think instantly when his soul left his body, it went to his mother. But there's some familiarity to this. And I strongly feel like the person who pulled the trigger wasn't like someone hired. It's someone that he, maybe even looked in their eyes and thought, how could you? At the same time, I knew you could. How could you? But I knew you could. That's just what I feel. I don't think that I'm supposed to do this reading, because I can see. As above. Biggie, I think, wanted to get out of there. His intentions that night, wherever they were, was to hurry up and leave. He wanted to go. He was going to get in whatever vehicle he had planned to get in and leave. And I think somebody came out behind him and was like, a whole crew, and then somewhere when they caught up to him and, they start talking amongst themselves, somebody suggested that they go somewhere else first before Biggie got to his destination, and that Biggie ride in the car with someone else other than the car that he had intended to. But I think that the reason why Biggie ended up in the car that night was because he wanted to leave wherever he was, and he wanted to leave quickly. Because he peeped something. He peeped something. Something came out. Something came up. Something was said. Now, who watches my page? As I'm watching this crow fly over the window, someone in the know is watching me. I got this impression when I was doing not the Oprah reading, but the one I did after that, the Why Pedophilia in Hollywood. When I was peering in on the energy, they noticed I was there. I have gotten about 15 new subscribers in the past 24 hours, and that's a record for me. Amongst that crew, if you see me, I see you too. But anyways, Biggie, something was revealed to Biggie that night, which caused him to want to leave immediately wherever he was. And I see someone catching up to him, and then other people following, not like in a bad way or anything, like his entourage or his crew. But I think Biggie wanted to get away even from them at that moment and go and be alone somewhere, or away from them. Whatever happened, whatever was revealed to him, it made him feel like this is now this is it. Now this is it. It was almost like tomorrow I'm gonna go and do X, Y, and Z. I think that's exactly what happened. I think that Biggie was going to see an attorney, or had been seeing an attorney, but I think he was going to see an attorney of his own, or going to get some advice outside of the advice that he had been getting, connected with Bad Boy, allegedly. In external energy, I've seen this before, and actually I saw this accidentally reading someone else, and I don't even remember who I was reading, but I mentioned a redhead female having something to do with setting Biggie up, allegedly, and I actually know who this female is, and her initials are CB, allegedly. And I actually like that person, so this is no bias, but I see her. I see her. I've seen her accidentally, not even in the cards. I saw her in my vision, and here she is. I think that she was set in to set up. Maybe, just maybe, Biggie was going to be with her that night, or she had I won't say, because then I'll just be speculating, and Dina, don't speculate. If I don't know it, if I don't see it, I don't say it, but I'll come back to her. Here's another Queen of Pentacles. Could be the same woman, but this isn't his hopes and fears position. Now, I think that he possibly could have been suspicious of this woman at some point, this woman here in his external energy. I think that maybe he thought that she was trying to set him up. I think that that's why Biggie was so anxious and ready to get away from everybody who he was around. And I think she was one of the people that he had been pillow talking with. And I think that's where he messed up. And I think at some point he knew he messed up there. When something was revealed to him, I think he then realized that dealing with her, I hope she ain't trying to set me up. I hope she ain't in on this. I think Biggie might have thought that he was next, and he was trying to hurry up and get away. And I think that he found out too late. Final outcome, he found out too late. Again, I still get Biggie and his mother. Biggie and his mother. Now, she's Jamaican, so I imagine she's a very spiritual woman. I get the impression she knew immediately. Like his soul went to his mother or his grandmother, a maternal ancestor. Like she snatched him up immediately. Immediately. Like his ancestors were waiting, because obviously they already knew. And I still get the impression that this was a backstab, because these are swords. This is the other side of the Five of Swords, the turmoil. I think that whoever convinced him to get in the car with them, someone perpetrating as a friend, but even they were in on it. I think that they had direct orders. I hear in my mind direct orders. This was orchestrated. Biggie, but I feel like we all know that this was a hit. This was a setup. And Biggie knew it. I don't know if Biggie wanted to get out of his contract, or get out of some sort of legal obligation he had. Bad Boy, I hear. He wanted to leave Bad Boy. Let's talk about this Chariot in reverse. The car. The car also, the car is representative of not wanting to let him get away. Couldn't let me get away. They wouldn't let me get away. And the car was almost symbolic. He feels like it was poetic, the way it all played out, because they knew that he was trying to get away. And the car that they asked him to be in was the trap for him to not get away. A vehicle, a mode of transportation was the trap to stabilizing him permanently, allegedly. Now, why did this come out for the car, the chariot in reverse? It was a death trap, he said. I think because he wanted his freedom, he wanted his independence. And I think he had already started, I think that Biggie had already started seeking advice. I think that became known to, I have to say this, I have to say it, allegedly P. Diddy. I think it became known to be P. Diddy that Biggie was talking to other people, other lawyers, other industry people outside of the people that Bad Boy gave him, that P. Diddy gave him. He wanted freedom. He wanted independence. And I think he was focused on his money and the next stage of his career, and breaking up with P. Diddy, allegedly. And this was bigger than just their business relationship. This was their brotherhood, their friendship. Allegedly, I don't want to say this out loud, but this was something more. And I don't think that Biggie liked it. I don't think he liked it. Even though I think that at some point he was a willing participant, I don't think he enjoyed it. I don't think he enjoyed the activities that he partook in with P. Diddy, allegedly. Business, friendship, and otherwise. And I'll just leave it at that, allegedly. I'm sorry, I'm not one of those people who rush to call men in the industry that way unless I see it spiritually for myself. I hear the rumors all day. And most of the time I don't care enough to pull cards on it because I don't care about, I don't care about what you do in that regard. But I have to, it's present here. It's present here. I think that P. Diddy, allegedly, Biggie no longer wanted to do certain things. He no longer wanted to sell his soul in more ways than one. To have someone take all of his money via contracts if he remained. I think he wanted to get out of his contract, but I think he had to do it in a secretive way. Or I think he wanted to do it in a secretive way, but I think that P. Diddy allegedly and the people he was doing business with, Bad Boy or whoever he was signed to, found out what his plans were. I think that they had threatened him at some point. I think that Biggie allegedly was physically assaulted at some point to threaten him to not go through, make him afraid to not leave. I think fear was a tactic that was used back then on the East Coast and the West Coast. I think that the same thing people think that Suge Knight did, allegedly, I think that was happening on the East Coast with Bad Boy, allegedly as well. If not worse. If not worse. Because P. Diddy allegedly had something that Suge Knight did not have. He had savvy and suave and je ne sais quoi and charm. P. Diddy, Suge allegedly ruled by fear, intimidation, and force. P. Diddy, Biggie allegedly feels P. Diddy was a snake. In the streets, they would call that type of person a snake. I would say that that was just a very savvy businessman who, even though he was just as hood in his street and cutthroat and lethal as they come, he knows how to play the game with the power players as well, the ones who can actually open doors for him. And that's what Suge didn't have. And that's why P. Diddy has the longevity that Suge didn't have. Because Suge couldn't assimilate. He couldn't play the game. P. Diddy not only played the game allegedly, but he helped create the game that others had to play, including Biggie. And I think he didn't want to do that with Diddy anymore. Whatever he was doing with Diddy, he didn't want to do it anymore. And I wasn't going to read the Two of Cups in reverse to see what that was, but I think that Biggie wants me. I'm sorry for anybody who isn't gonna like this, because I don't want to do this reading anymore, but I'm compelled to tell the truth. I'm compelled to tell the truth, okay? About everything that he did as well. Biggie needs his truth to be out so that he can evolve spiritually. Something is going on in the ethers beyond the veil spiritually that I don't even know, but he needs to speak his truth. I hear a tone so that he can spiritually evolve to whatever next plane he's been working on evolving to. And I don't think anybody ever spoke about the things that Biggie did, and he needs for me to say also about the things that he did in the industry that he partook in to become successful. At some point, he was young and naive, but he did it. And he had karma that he has been trying to pay off so that he can spiritually evolve on the other side. And telling his truth is a part of that. I don't think anybody has ever spoke about what Biggie did because he's a victim. But Biggie wants to know that he partook in the games that even P. Diddy is now being called out for. Even the salacious and sexual and devious things. I hear, I've got a body on me too. I've got bodies on me too. He said 9. Innocent. 9 innocent bodies. I hear there was a rumor that I heard of that early in P. Diddy's career, there was some kind of event at a gymnasium, a basketball, I don't know if it a basketball gym or something like that in New York. It was early on, maybe in the 90s, an event that they were putting on that he was involved in. And there was some kind of stampede because it was overcrowded. And in the events of people trying to get out of this venue, 9 people got killed because they got trampled on or stampeded on, something like that. You guys, somebody from New York that's that remembers that story about that event that P. Diddy threw or he was involved in back in the 90s. I think 9 people died. Correct me if I'm wrong. Biggie feels guilty in that as well, because something tells me that that was sacrificial to help them get on in their early days. And I think that Biggie feels guilty for that as well as other things that he needed me to just say. He needed me to say that for him. However, we're talking about the car. That was a setup because Biggie wanted out. And apparently, the only way Biggie was going to get out of this, because I think that he literally signed his name in something in blood. I see it in my mind. I get that he signed his name in something in blood. And in the back of his mind, he knew that the only way he was going to get out of this is in death. He says, that's why I recorded Life After Death or Ready to Die or something like that. One of something he recorded. At that point when he recorded, he knew because he signed his name in blood. But I think at the moment that he was trying to go through with the plans, I don't know. He wasn't thinking about that. He wasn't thinking about that at that moment. He was just doing what he could to get away. I think he just needed to get away. And that night, wherever they were, because I don't remember the story about the night of Biggie's death, or wherever they were, let me skip around a bit. What did you find out? Because I'm looking at his So Below card, whatever he found out. What is this? Where were they that night that Biggie died? Were they at an event? Because I think that it was something else that they had to go through with that night. I don't know. This gives me what is in this cup? It's like you do this or else. I feel somebody telling him you do this or else. And he was like, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not doing it anymore. He couldn't live with himself if he continued doing it. And I'm sorry, I don't know what the it is. I don't know what the it is, but he was tired of, allegedly, I have to say it like he wants me to, was tired of P. Diddy holding his career, holding the money over his head if he didn't continue doing something. And Biggie couldn't live with himself anymore for doing whatever this was. He was willing to lose whatever money just to be done. Whatever Diddy was holding over his head that he could take, if Biggie walked away from them, he was like, okay, I'll start over. Which is why he was talking to someone else already and getting advice, getting legal advice about what he could do with the money that he had, or what money that he could get. I think that he was possibly getting someone else to look at his contract or advise him about life after Bad Boy, because whatever he felt like he had to do, he did not want to do it anymore. And it was something other than, something more worse than all the things that he had ever done. And I think it was just like, I can't do this. I don't know. Some of the friends, when Biggie was trying to leave, like I said, I saw the entourage come out and say, hey, let's go here, or let's go this way to get away from paparazzi, or I don't know, let's go here instead of here because it's going to be a lot of paparazzi. If we go this way, the paparazzi won't see us if we take the back way, and then we'll drop you off. Something like that. But that was a part of the plan, to get him away from the paparazzi, not for his safety, but to get him away so that nobody can see what really went on in the car and who did what in the car. And then who got out of the car and then switched cars. And who got out of the car and another car pulled up and they got in the car. There was somebody else that was there that wasn't reported to have been on the scene officially because they left. I think the one who actually pulled the trigger. Somebody else pulled up, and him, maybe more people, but him, they got in this other car and left. There was some switcheroos going on. I think that the whole reason for his death was that he was looking at his contract, looking into his contract, or looking to get out of his contract. Allegedly. I see his mother here, but in the recent past position, in reverse, she didn't like somebody that was hanging around him. She didn't trust P. Diddy anymore, allegedly. She didn't trust P. Diddy anymore. And she definitely didn't trust him afterwards. He came by the house, and this is before the death happened. Allegedly, I think he came by the house looking for Biggie, but she wouldn't tell him where he was. Or he came by the house saying things, volunteering information, and she just sat there watching him, listening to him. Her intuition telling him, just listening to him so that she can go back to Biggie and say, Biggie, Diddy came by here. He said this, this, and this, but I think this, and this, son. You need to get away. Somebody tag Biggie mama. Because I know she will be like, oh, that girl, have her call me. I think that Biggie had plans to go meet up with this chick. Or she called him. Maybe they hadn't seen each other in a while. And she called him that night. I don't know, maybe out of the blue. And he maybe thought that was suspicious. I think he felt like P. Diddy sent her, allegedly. The Hermit. Biggie was allegedly getting legal advice about life after he left Bad Boy. He was trying to figure out what he can do as far as his career, or if he could have a career. And I think that there were people who would be willing to work with him after he left Bad Boy and help him out in whatever situation financially he might be in after P. Diddy raped him figuratively and literally, allegedly. Because I think that people saw him as lucrative. So there were people who would be willing to help him. Queen of Wands. You can't trust them. You can't trust them. You can't trust them. I think that she shot herself in the foot. I think that she came on too strong. And that's what made Biggie nervous. I think that she could have ruined everything because Biggie got suspicious of the people that he was with that night, which is why he was trying to get away from even them. Something that was said when she called made him think, now, why did she say that? Why did she, or how did she, or something? And then he started looking at the people around him, and he was like, no, I got to get away from these niggas now, because she might be trying to set me up. I think Diddy might have tried to pay her. And I'm saying that from Biggie's point of view. She came on too strong. She said something that self-sabotaged her and everybody else, which is why I think that Biggie tried to hurry up and leave, and then they followed behind him and was like, hey, come, go this way. We'll drop you off. We'll take you. Hopes and fears with this woman was that she was in on it, and she was. She had already got a phone call or a visit. She got a visit, allegedly, by Diddy. Allegedly. This was an artist, a female artist, allegedly, whose career was falling off at the time. Final outcome, 6 of Swords. Whatever they said happened that night with Biggie, it didn't happen that way. They say that no one's... no one saw who shot him because I don't know what this sun in reverse is. Oh, so that no one could see. Okay. Were they in like a back alley where paparazzi couldn't see celebrities, like a celebrity exit? Did they take that way, or did they suggest taking that way so that paparazzi couldn't see? Or there was a car that would be back there to pick him up. There was a switcheroo of cars. Somebody said, I'll take you. Biggie wanted to go. Wherever he wanted to go there urgently. And I think that they wanted to go somewhere else. And Biggie was like, I don't give a fuck. I'm not going there. I want to go to the crib. I want to go here. And they was like, no, just come to. And Biggie was like, I don't give a fuck what you niggas gonna do. I'm going here. And they was like, fine, big, cool. Calm down. We'll take you. I'll take you. Hop in the car with such and such. Hop in the car with C's. Allegedly. I don't know why I said that, but I said it. You know, we'll take you. Such and such and such. Take the back way. You know, where the paparazzi can't see. What, you know. Boom, boom, boom. Another car pulled up. Somebody hopped in that car. They scurred off. You know, and then the rest is history. All right, you guys, that is my Biggie reading. I'm not going to prolong it anymore, but I might do a follow-up because now I'm intrigued. Your girl is intrigued. I'm not well versed in all of that, so all of this is tea to me, but the way it came together, me thinks I may be onto something. Somebody from those days that was around back in those days, or somebody from New York who's heard the stories, the rumors. Y'all tell me how accurate that was, because I'm a Florida girl. My only experience with New York was Buffalo, and I was just on my way to Canada. I was only there for 24, 48 hours. So that's my Biggie reading. I thank you, Biggie. I release your soul in peace, and I pray that whatever it is that you wanted to atone for, and wherever it is that your soul may need to, or may have been trying to evolve to next, I pray that God grant you that blessing and the desires of your heart to evolve and be forgiven for whatever you hold against yourself. And now I pray that you also forgive yourself, and I release you in peace. Ashe, Biggie. Ashe, you guys. Mwah. Love y'all. Bye.